Hey guys, so today was immigration day, so we went to the immigration office here in the Philippines. Just got home, wanted to update you guys on the costs. So I had to extend my visa. So I extend my visa every 2 months, and I also had to renew my ACR card. All right, so we're here in the lovely backyard where I live with Sarah in the Philippines. So I live on the compound with my girlfriend here in the Philippines. I've been here for about a year now. If you haven't watched my channel, go ahead and check out some of our videos. We show the compound that we live in. I just recently put out a video talking about I've been here in the Philippines for 1 year now. So I did go, within that 1 year, I did go home for about a month and a half because I had some things I had to deal with the family. I had some family passing away and stuff like that. So I was gone for a month and a half. So once you're here for two months, just like any other country, even like in the United States, when you go to different states and you get like a driver's license, if you're there for 60 or 90 days, you have to get their driver's license. So kind of same thing here in the Philippines. When you're here for 60 days, after that, you need to apply for what's called an ACR card, or they call it an I card. So it's an alien identification card or alien residence card, something like that. So your ACR card. So I did two things today at they call it the Bureau of Immigration, I believe so. So it's the BI here in the Philippines. So I did two things today. I extended my visa, which I normally do. I normally extend my visa online, but I wasn't able to do it because this time I have my ACR card, which you get once a year. You get your very first 2 months when you come here, and then once a year you have to renew it. So I had to renew it. I didn't have to take any pictures, which is kind of surprising, so they're just going to use my same picture or whatever. But I want to go over the cost of what it costs for me to extend my visa, what it typically costs, and also what it costs for my ACR renewal card. So first off, it was pretty fun. Normally I go online and do it, which is really, really simple. Every 2 months, you can get your visa extended every month or every 2 months is the most typical thing. I have heard of some people in the Philippines being able to extend their visa every 6 months, and I think it might be per office or something like that. But from what I've heard, it's not very common here. It's not very common. It's like 1 month or 2 months. So I almost always extend it online. Very, very easy. You just got to have all your information, and then it takes like 5 minutes. It's super, super simple to do. When you renew your visa, it's typically around 30, 40 US dollars to extend it every month. Then your very first month you're here, so you get when you come to the Philippines, and this is coming from someone who's from the United States, so it may be different for your own country, but when you come from the United States, you get 28 days or 29 days or something like that, 1 month. I forget the exact numbers, but you come for 1 month and then you get a stamp on your passport. So right when you come off the airport, they say, what are you here for? Oh, I'm here to, explore and, tourists and stuff like that. So you just come on you get that. It's just like a tourist visa, but we're like a visa-free country or something like that with the Philippines. Some kind of agreement we have with them. So you just get stamped on your visa. And then after that 1 month, you then apply for a 28-day visa extension, and you can do that online, which I did as well, or you can go into the office. I haven't done that on my second time doing it, but whatever, you have that option. It was a little bit more expensive for your second month, so it'll be like your 31st day or something like that. It's a little more expensive. It was around like $50, and then after that it's usually around $30 to $40. And then of course the costs are always going to go up every month. So your ACR card, that usually runs you about $150, something like that. I've got the numbers here, and this is for the renewal, so we'll go over the numbers really quick. So today I had a visa extension, so I applied for a 2-month extension, and then I had my renewal of my ACR card all together. And I'll show you guys the numbers too. I'll add those in the video in a second. You'll probably see them here or wherever. I'm just going to add them to the video so you see an actual photo of them. So it was 9,398 pesos, which is, I'll add the number here, but it's roughly 200 bucks, like 180, $200. I'll give you the exact number. So I'll see if I can take a picture of this and add it to maybe on the side here or something like that. But you see, you get a lot of these, a lot of the actual fees. A lot of the costs come from the express lane fees. So that's something they implemented later on. So I'll give you guys the actual breakdown of what the costs were. Looks like 3,000 pesos, which is about $55, something like that. That's for all the express lane fees, and there's really no way of getting around that from what I understand. Certain islands, I think you might be able to get away with some of the express lanes and, applying for your visa ahead of time, but here I have not seen it. And we're on the island of Mindanao, which is in the southern part of the Philippines, and that's in Cagayan de Oro. So we went downtown in Cagayan de Oro to go to the bureau office. So you have sticker fee, documentary tax stamp, certificate of residence. It was $1,400. Monthly extension fee, certificate fee. So it looks like your ACR card fee was around 3,000 pesos, which is around 50 bucks. So it looks like 50 bucks was for the ACR card itself. And then you have certification fee. So little story here about when I went to the immigration office. So there's a couple of things we learned there. So I do all my applications online, and you get within like 24 hours, it's usually like within a couple hours, you get a receipt, and I think within a day or two, like it doesn't take longer than a day or two, you get an email saying everything has gone through fully whatsoever, and then you print up an actual receipt. So that's what I usually do. Every 2 months, I do it online, and it works out just fine, and you get an actual receipt printout. And I'm gonna have to blur part of it out, of course, so hope you guys understand that. But so you have these, so I always print these out. So when I exited one time of the Philippines, I left to go home for a month and a half, and I print these receipts out and I keep them in an envelope that I keep all my documents in my briefcase. And when I was leaving to go home, I didn't have to do an exit clearance. Sometimes it's after 6 months or a year. I'll see if I can add it here. But just to clarify, if you've been here a certain amount of time, you have to get exit clearance to leave. So I was under 6 months, so I didn't need exit clearance. But when I was leaving, I do these online. And when you do them online, you don't get your visa, your passport stamped. So when I was leaving, I totally forgot about it. And I showed him my visa, my passport to go out. And the guy questioned me, hey, why don't you have a stamp for this last, 2 months you were here? And I said, oh, I've got my receipts, So I pulled out my receipts and showed it to him. So that's why it's always good to, if you do it online, keep your receipts. Even if you go in the office, keep all your receipts, because they're usually going to ask. But the reason why I bring that up is because when I did it online, the last 2 times I've done it here online, because I've been here now 6 months, so or 6 months since I've been home. So I did it online the last 2 times, and I saved my receipts. But when I go into the office, their paperwork online just never gets caught up. So the lady's like, we have no documentation of it online whatsoever. And I'm like, well, I printed up the receipt that the website from your website gives us. And she's like, basically, in a roundabout way, it's not really good enough. You need to have the actual physical one that we issue you, and they print out like a printer, like not an actual printer, but like a receipt printer, So I'm like, I never got that, they don't, this is what they send. And she's like, well, you would have gotten an email. So I had to go through everything, find my email, and she was really cool about it. So I'll give her that. But I pulled up my email, and I got to go through all my emails. And I finally found it, and I showed her, and it was the same thing. So she was nice about it, and she's like, okay, so we recommend that you come in and do your extending in person. And I'm like, well, why do you give the option to do it online? That's just crazy. So she recommends to do it online because when you do it when she recommends to bring it in, she recommends to do it in person at the office, which is great. But then you have to go in, you have to fill out the paperwork, you have to wait, and then sometimes you have that language barrier, and you have to wait for the next person, and it takes a long time. It's not that bad. It's like an hour or two, but still, I'd rather spend 5 minutes doing it online. But she recommended that I do it, in the office instead of online, which I think is just crazy. So I'm going to continue doing it online. I'm just going to keep my receipts, and we'll go from there. As long as if it's just your 2-month renewal, it's not a big issue. If you have to do it twice, it's only like $40. When you do your ACR card, it was like $200. It was 9,450 pesos or something like that. So that's different. So once a year you have to do that. So there was a little bit of issue with that. Another thing, it was pretty sad. There's an older guy in there, and you see a lot of us here. You don't really think about it because if you're not living it, you don't really think about it. But there's an older gentleman there. I feel very bad for him. He's put in his 80s. I've seen him here before. Really nice guy. So you have to do your exit clearance every 3 years because you're only allowed to be in the Philippines. You can renew your visa, keep doing it. But after 3 years, they say, okay, you can't just keep extending. You have to leave, exit the country, and re-entry. So a lot of people, they go and just fly to another country for a day or two, or go back home, whatever, come back in. But in order to do that, you have to show them that you have a flight booked leaving the country before you can get your exit clearance. Because when you've been here for 3 years, or after 6 months to a year, which I put up earlier, after 6 months to a year, you have to get exit clearance to leave the country before they let you leave. And that's just to make sure you don't have any like unpaid bills, or they need to see if you're going to be blacklisted or anything crazy like that. So they do it. So, and you do have to pay for an exit clearance as well. So it's another fee on top of it. Fortunately, I haven't had to do one yet, because if you stay under that period and you leave before that ends, because I was only here for 6 months, so I left, didn't need to do one. But the poor gentleman was just like, I don't have a ticket. And the lady's like, you got to have a ticket. You got to show us a ticket, where you're going and all that stuff before we can issue an exit clearance. And the poor guy was just so old, and he's like, I don't remember anything. He's like, I have a horrible memory. I'm old, and it was just really sad. So I do wish him the best. There's a couple of us there that try to help him, and they found someone to help him. So that was really cool. Another thing to bring up too as well is, so I have Sarah's here in the background, my girlfriend. I'm gonna ask her because I forget what it was, but she was out there sitting with a lady, and they were talking about if you're 1 day late from getting your visa extension, they charge you now, and it's gone up a lot. Love, what was the cost? 4,000 pesos?
Yeah, 4,000 pesos, even you're 1 day late.
Yeah, so if you have a 1 month or a 2 month visa extension that you pay for, and you go 1 day past that, you then have to pay a late fee. And she told me, the lady that she talked to, her husband was 1 day late, and they got charged 4,000 pesos. So that's a little under $80. So don't be late, guys. I don't know if they charge you per day or not, but at least 1 day you get charged now. It used to be like 1,000 pesos or something around that, but it's definitely changed. Just with times, everything changes, Other than that, it wasn't bad. So I'm now got my ACR card. And then also to get your ACR card, they have to print it out and do all that stuff. So you got to wait for them to issue it to you. So we went there, paid all our bills, got everything done, took off. Now I have to wait for them to call me and say your ACR card is ready. And that's, again, your identification card, which gives you, allows you to get a bank account, allows you to get a Filipino driver's license, allows you to get GCash, which is like their e-wallet, things like that. ACR cards, once you've been here for 60 days, you really want one, because it gives you a lot of different things you couldn't get as just being here for 1 month. So that's really helpful. So now I gotta wait to get my other one. They did not take my other ACR card, so it's not expired yet, which is good. So suggest going in before it expires. Other than that, that was about it. I'm trying to think of anything else. If you guys have any questions about visas, you know, extending, anything like that, drop me a comment, let me know, ask any questions. We'll be glad to help. If I don't know the answer, Sarah knows it, or we will find out for you. Also, guys, don't forget, we are now doing live chats, live videos twice a week now. So our live videos are going to be going in the US, it's going to be Fridays and Sundays. So we've been doing Sundays for a little over a month now. Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time in the US. That's 7 a.m. in the Philippines. So we wake up in the morning, 7 a.m. Monday mornings, and do those. We just started doing live just last Friday as well. So we added that on. It's been really, really fun. So Fridays in the US, we're doing 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So that's something we've been really enjoying to do. So join our live feed, guys. Come in, ask us any questions. So that's about it. That's going to wrap it up. We do appreciate you guys very much for watching and for checking out our channel. And to all our new subscribers, thank you guys for joining us, and look forward to more. Best of wishes from the Philippines.